Now, when I first heard about this, I thought the result was going to be spider goat. You know, a goat dressed in red and black and shooting silk like bah, bah. But that's not that way it happened in reality. In reality, all that happens is that the genes are only introduced into the mammary glands of the goat. So the mammary glands produce the silk, and the silk comes out with the milk. Then as an industrial process, they eliminate all the lactose and all the other components of milk. They end up with a paste made out of pure spider silk, and they extrude that paste through a metal screen with tiny little holes, and out the other side comes long strands of spider silk. Now, in addition to being gross and kind of like creepy, what this shows you is that the very strong reproductive barriers between goats and spiders, two species that are separated evolutionarily by billions of years, well, millions of years, can be breached. And it can be breached because it is contingent. There was nothing necessary about goatness. There was nothing necessary about spiderhood. If there were essences, you would have never been able to create spider goats. But because there are not essences, if you're clever enough, you can produce it. You can produce that weird species that combines genes from both. Now, whether we should be doing that is a completely different matter. If you ask me, don't put spider genes into goats. Don't start breaching those barriers, because we don't know what the consequences are. You know, we don't know what genetic pollution can happen. Remember that it took us 70 years before understanding that fluorocarbons and other chemicals that we put into refrigerators and stuff like that were creating a hole in the ozone layer and so on. And it was only when it was too late that we discovered that. Well, is the same thing going to happen with genes? We begin transplanting them from one place to another. How long before the human species begins, in the same way in which we tattoo ourselves, or we scarify ourselves, or we, pierce every single part of our faces, how long before a Trekkie, one of those that learns Klingon, and talks to his children in Klingon, how long before he goes into an illegal place and says, hey, I want rhinoceros genes in my forehead? Not that long. It's going to be illegal, but tattoos are illegal, or were illegal for a long time, and nevertheless everybody had tattoos. So how long before humans start putting genes from animals into themselves? I'll tell you, it's going to be 40 years at the most. And at that point, our identity as a species, which is only contingent, because we don't have an essence of humanhood, will be breached. And the moment it's breached, even a tiny little bit, that is a moment where it becomes a little fuzzier at the edges. And the more genes from other species we start introducing into ourselves, the more fuzzy our identity will become, because it was a breachable contingent identity, unlike that of Aristotle. Okay guys, let's take a break. We'll come back.